Ladies and gentlemen, Kekin, you're welcome to the SPYDER Alert. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is up slightly here, about 0.1% on the S&P. Nasdaq is up about 0.5%. Semiconductor earlier today was up close to 3%, but he faded back down a little bit there. Dow's red, also 2000 is also red. Looks like Apple's down, but some of these guys are up quite a bit. I know Nvidia, AMD, these guys been going vertical pretty much. Tesla down. I think Tesla's down after hours as well. Netflix up about 10%. Looks like Bitcoin, some of these mining crypto mining stocks are down. Gold is down. Dollars down. Looks like oil's up. VIX is up a little bit. Well, VIX is up actually 4% today. Let's stay with S&P 500 ETF. SPYDER 65-minute chart here. So this is where we closed. That's not where we closed. We closed there today, but this is where we closed. This is where we closed yesterday. And as you can see, we actually gapped up here. This is where we closed yesterday. We gapped up and we did first hour. You see that the hangman candle there, a little bit of lower wick, found some support. We got back up, shooting star there. And then we see continuation. But we fell back down, and then you see that fifth hour, a little bit of a, hammer-like, gravestone doji-like candle there with the long lower wick, right on that micro term, because that micro term needed to be protected if the bulls wanted to continue, right? Because as you can see, the micro term did act as support here. Not only that, even here, you see that micro term right here. You can see again, the micro terms been acting as a resistance also. This is why today's price action is important, because you see that micro term acting as support for a couple hours, and the next day it was lost, right? There's down gap. And for 3 hours, bulls were not able to reclaim that micro term. And then we did see about 2-3 days of downturn. So this is important looking at this, because we have not seen the micro term, right? We have not seen that micro term. We have not seen the price getting below the micro term. This is the first time since the 18th here. So about a week, this market has been thriving right above the micro term moving average for the first time. About a week or so. You can see on the last hour price action, we did close below, and knowing that on the fifth hour, bulls trying to use that micro term to prop itself up. It failed. Sixth hour, we finally broken below it. In that process, it has filled that up gap, right? So there's a couple things happening here. The up gap is filled and the micro term is broken. Right? So these two signals alone, unless bulls can reclaim the micro term as quickly as possible and stay above, they both need to stay above the micro term pretty much all day long tomorrow to sort of retract themselves, maybe turn this into a little micro trap. But let's say we stay underneath the micro term all day tomorrow, similar to like here, then we can see that 2-3 days of downturn is a possibility. So here, I'm gonna zoom out here, and you can see how that scenario played out almost every single time here. As you can see right here too. See that right here, right? There's that micro term support, right? And then we lost it, not able to get above the micro term. And this time around, this was like January. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 days of downturn under the micro term moving average. The micro term continues to act as resistance for several days at least. So that's why this micro term getting lost, the gap getting filled, and especially the fact that we also have the bearish divergence here, and this divergence played out almost every single time. As you can see, the price makes higher high, but the divergence does not reciprocate, right? So you can see there's no reciprocation. There's no higher high, right? It has lower high when with the higher high. So basically that means bulls are pushing, but they're getting really tired. But obviously the oscillator hitting that overbought zone, they're tired, but bulls want to keep pushing it. And that's when you see that bearish divergence come about. And we see that cross right here. And that cross on that oscillator, that happens right when that micro term gets lost.
Perfect.
As you can see right here, the micro term gets lost. And then we see the oscillator roll over. Price fluctuate, obviously, is going to have its up and downs. But you see how that micro term continues to act as resistance for several days. Same thing happened here on this bearish divergence. This one was only about 2 days or so. And now we have yet another bearish divergence, right? Very similar to here, very similar to here. Again, even this time around, when you see the lower high on that oscillator, when that oscillator crossed down, that's right when that micro term moving average is getting lost, and it was never reclaimed. So that's gonna be the lookout, because you can see that oscillator crossed down. That happened right on the last hour when the price broken below the micro term. So what's important is going into tomorrow. If it continues to stay underneath the micro term and this oscillator continues to roll over, we want to give benefit of the doubt to the sellers in the micro term as long as we stay below the micro term. And when I say micro term, I mean it could be 1 day to 3-4 days. So we stay below the micro term, and the micro term acts as resistance like this. The oscillator rolls over. If that happens, that oscillator needs to reset to the bottom of its band, which is oversold zone. So then we would suspect then, if we do see a continuation to the downside, and here are a couple of support levels I want to talk to you guys about. You can see the short-term moving average is currently residing. We're currently traveling at 481.22, also coinciding with my first fib level there. My midterm, however, is currently traveling at 478, which is coinciding with this rising or horizontal pivot.
Perfect.
So I think the worst case scenario for this bearish divergence reversal signal, to if this gonna play out tomorrow, again, for this play out, that micro term MA or the price needs to stay underneath the micro term. The worst case scenario is retesting the midterm, retesting the prior resistance as new support, which is around 478, 480 or so, also coinciding with my 50% retracement. The micro term, like a next day support, possibly is going to be the short term MA, which is going to be 481.22. I'm going to come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Injury evening. We'll train tomorrow.